All right. So I am trying a new platform. Previously, I've been using Talk Studio, and I didn't like the video quality, and also had some technical issue as well. So I am using a new platform called OneStream, and we'll see how this goes. All right. So let me get pull up the chat session, and then I'm just going to check whether I am live or not before I continue. Let me just check online here. All right, so I all right, all right. It looks like I'm on, and I see myself on YouTube. Right. Okay. So today I am going to talk about how to rebuild your income after 40s. And one of the reasons why I am talking about this is mainly because I just started getting into AI, and I think based on my use in the past couple of months, definitely it is going to change the way you do your work, business, and I do believe that it's going to definitely impact um, people's jobs, negatively, positively. You It depends on how you look at it. So today I want to talk about mainly um, the fact of the matter is that let me just pull up my slide. Okay, let me see if I can add it to the stream. And I like to be on the side. Um, so how to rebuild your income, and um, I think that most people don't have a sales problem. So when I talk about sales, I'm talking about whether you're a business, you're a professional, or whether you're in a service industry. I think it has to do with your lead flow and the I'm taking a look at my PowerPoint and some of the notes that I have right here. The truth is that most people will come to me and say, I want more leads, right? It's not that they can't generate leads, but it's that you don't have a system that can predictably um, bring you leads on a consistent basis, right? And what I mean by that is that um, we are constantly relying on our own energy rather than systems, or um, let's just say you put a lot of effort into generating leads, whether you're cold calling or whether you're posting on social media, and then all of a sudden you get a bunch of leads, and then you're working the leads, and then you get a deal, and then your system, whether it's then you're preoccupied with that aspect of deliverable. So you don't have a system. And so once you start implement a system in place, that will give you the time to develop more systems. And I hope that makes sense, right? So um, what I want to talk about mainly today is that one simple AI system that can you can start with, so that way you can start leveraging your time, your effort. Okay. All right. So um, you know, when I talk about over 40s, I am over 50, but I think in most people that are in their 40s, they're in um, a life situation where most likely, let's just say if you're, married, maybe have kids, one, um, you're pulled in many directions. You're pulled in your job, your business, your family. Um, and so that's a lot on anybody, right? And because that's a critical time when you have a lot of financial obligations as well. And so we have a lot of responsibilities. And then to top it off, we have a lot of tools that are at our disposal, right? There are constantly many tools, many uh, platforms. I put that separately, but that are trying to vie for our attention. And then also there are not only offers that comes from various products and services online, but also you may have a lot of offers, as it relates to your business, right? Whether it's products or services, depending, right? And then there's a lot of noise online as well. And so this can really be overwhelming for including myself, right? And just because the fact of the matter is, I'm talking about this because I've lived it and I've done it. Um, and so I talk about a lot in this channel, right? For those that don't know me, my name is Paul Kim, and the goal of this channel, and from the goal of what I'm trying to build this channel, this community is really about simplifying your life, simplifying your business, and leveraging AI on automations to do that, right? Um, and that requires a lot of clarity and focus. Okay, and so and recently, in the past couple of months, AI really has changed the game for me. I knew it in my head, but AI really helped me to clarify a lot of things, and it really changed the game. Um, because we can use AI as leverage. We can also use AI as a part of our employee that can work 24/7, right? You can also, when I talk about leverage, I'm talking about using possibly ChatGPT to help you um, to leverage some of the things or knowledge that you know about your business, right? And it can also reduce complexities in whatever is it that you're doing. And then it could also create consistency even when life gets busy. And so I know these are a lot of theories, but really, I'll tell you right now, just from my own um, experiences, it has really changed the game, right? But the only downside, I'm not say, caveat is that you really, just like in any, like, when you talking about computers or any um, good input equals good output. Bad output, garbage in, garbage out. And so you really that's very, very important. Okay. Next. So here's the shift, right? So when I talk about, you know, um, I talk about this one vehicle, one audience, one offer, and one system, right? Because um, I'm not going to talk about this in depth today, right? But I just want to have you understand that clarity creates confidence in your business and your life. And so, but what I want to talk about today is mainly about, let me see if I have it in my, slide deck. Okay, so here is where um, the one AI system. Now, this really becomes and really is important when you generate a lead, right? But a lot of people might come to me and say, like, I need help generating more leads, right? It's not that generating leads, I think is I won't say simple. I think at the end of the day, like if you have a good offer, generating leads is easy. What most people lack is this system of basically capturing the lead, following up, recapture them, right? And basically have us then make the sale and then build trust within, you know, with the client and also with your spear or leads, and then repeat the process over and over again. And so um, I want to take this into a little more in depth, right? So let's just say you get a lead, right? The lead comes in, right? And I'm going to talk about the various leads, ways to generate leads. I mean, there isn't that many when you think about it. Whether it's online, offline, we can talk about generating leads afterwards, right? But what I want to talk about right now is generating leads. The lead comes in, right? And then so whether the lead comes in through social media or whether it comes through a website form or whether they comes in through a phone call, right? AI engages with them, right? In any of the various ways, right? Qualifies them, right? And then has the ability to book an appointment, right? AI does this automatically and then does the follow-up. And then ultimately it's you, once they book the appointment. Now we're talking about mostly services and businesses. Now, can it also apply to like if you have a low, low, low ticket, like let's just say you're selling something that's very low ticket that doesn't require you to actually book an appointment, then it's just a matter of sending them to a sales page, right? And then they purchase it, right? And then ultimately you ultimately wanted to get them to a more high ticket or um, okay. Now, if you just have a low ticket, then it's just a matter of volume. Okay. Now you close on them, and then AI follows up after you close and possibly after you deliver the product or services, and then you ask for the AI will ask for the review. They leave a review if they do, and then AI replies automatically. All of this can, if you do this all manually, it could take you hours. But if you leverage AI to implement this, but at the very beginning, it may be a lot, right? You're thinking of it right? At the end of the day. But parts of this can be implemented a little bit at a time, and then you will have a system that is on autopilot. And then what it does is that it frees up your time, so that way then you can go and work on building consistency in your ways to generate leads. Now, let me talk a little bit about ways to generate leads, right? If you think about it, there's not that many, there's only a handful of ways to generate leads, right? Um, One-on-one, cold calling, cold DMs via social media, right? Um, then whether you talk about the cold market, warm market, there's various ways, right? There is just kind of throwing, um, you know, just based on everything that I've done in my past, right? You can go into Facebook groups and try to gather leads that way. You can go, um, what do you call it? Let's run Facebook ads. You can go into various communities, right? You can do webinars. That's what I was thinking about. You could run webinars. Um, Now, webinars, you can drive people through webinars through cold DMing and whatever. There's different ways, but ultimately, what you want to, most importantly, is if you have a good offer, you'll get good traction in any of those methods, right? The system that I talk about a lot, basically my audience, right? Because I own a marketing agency and we deal with local businesses, is what we call uh, I basically named it the AI Google Lead System, right? And so it utilizes the Google Business Profile because most local businesses, right, need not need I would need is a very strong word, but I do think that if you are a local business, right, whether you provide local services, products, um, you have to get Google Business Profile, right? And so let that be your lead system. And I think Google, because more and more with AI, it's changing the landscape. And so I'm gonna in my channel as well as myself, I'm gonna be really driving and talking about um, Google Business Profile plus AI and how that's going to impact local businesses. And so once you have that system set up, then it's just a matter of the leads coming in through people's intent and searching for you, and then that's going to drive, right? Now, that's not to say that that's you shouldn't rely on that solely. You can also do social media. You can also do reaching out to people through your network sphere of influence, whether it's cold or warm market. All right. So next, um, let me. So so to put it back into perspective of what I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about how this is going to create more freedom in your life, right? Um, create more freedom, simplicity, right? Freedom, simplicity, and predictability. And so once that's in place, then really it's repeating the process over and over again. All right. So let's go to some real examples, right? So let me just go over this quickly. So this is one system replaces a lot of the stuff, posting daily, right? I actually believe that once you have the system in place, you should be posting. I know. So, like, if you talk to a lot of people and you tell them, "Hey, you got to post daily on social media," they'll be like, "That is impossible." It is possible, right? But there's a caveat, right? You have to build systems, manual follow-ups, right? Missed calls, right? And I think a lot of people, like a lot of businesses you talk to, and you say, like, myself included, right? I probably do not pick up I do not pick up phone calls, and that's probably one of the things I'm going to talk about or actually show you um in one of my sessions in the future is that I don't pick up my phone calls because probably I would say 70-80% of them are like solicitors or, Google bots, right? But there are calls in there that are missed opportunities. And so there are missed opportunities, missed calls that are lost of due to the fact that you may not pick up quickly, respond quickly enough. Also, the maybe some people have staff that I think at the end of the day, good staff will always be necessary, right? But I think that a lot of the work can be uh, better made, or our staff can do better jobs with AI and also can be replaced, right? Possibly. I'm gonna put a caveat there. And then multiple tools. I used to tie all these different tools together so that they all communicate with each other. And I'm gonna talk to you about the platform that we use. It's high level, and also my white label is called Pro 360. And we utilize that for myself as well as all of our clients as well. Not, I won't say all, majority of the clients. And then um, using this system will help you so that you don't burn out like I did. Okay. I think most entrepreneurs go through burnout one time, I mean, at least once in their profession. All right. So if I had to start over at at this stage in game, right? Whether you're 40 or 50 plus, I'm going to give you a local example. Let's just say I'm going to talk about maybe let's say a plumber, right? Um, so typically a plumber, right? And I'm not talking about a plumber business that has dozens of uh, you know technicians. I'm talking about maybe a solo plumber, right? Um, they're on the job, right? And if they are on the job, they can't pick up the phone, right? I actually, and then some of the calls I know that, like, when you call up plumbers, like you call them at 8 o'clock in the morning, it goes to their cell phone directly, right? Um, People ask questions daily, and I think daily people are searching for plumbers, right? And some instances because of an emergency. And so um, now, if somebody calls you at like 10 o'clock in the evening, do you want to be that person that picks up or not? But once if you leverage AI to pick up the calls, and that um, if you know you can train or you could have AI say, "Hey, is this an emergency or can it wait till tomorrow?" Then it can take the appointments, and if it's an emergency, it could call you directly. And so, meaning that there's that um, there's that two path that it could take, right? So there's no follow up with missed customers. Like if you didn't have that availability of using AI and the system, then you have no um, follow up system with missed opportunities, right? And then also implementing a review system, right, where um, they would take whether you can actually physically ask for review or implement a system where you would ask for the review after the job is done or after the payment, and then you will see that all the stuff that is required, right, where the AI captures the calls, right, follows up with text messages. Um, and I think there's tools right now that are may become available. I know there's things in the pipeline for us to do outbound AI, right? So that's a whole different ballgame. So not even going to talk about that. And then there is the ability to recapture by texting them back and having conversations with those potential clients or customers, and then booking the appointment um, and letting AI do that, right? And some people may say, "Oh, I don't feel comfortable," or "I don't like that." That's would you rather have a missed customer, or would you rather have the opportunity to have a potential customer, right? And then after you get the job, right, and then having um, the system send out reviews or ask for reviews automatically takes the job takes the burden off you to do it. And then once they write the review, having the system reply to the reviews automatically takes the burden off of you and your staff to do that, right? So that's a plumber example. Let's take, for example, if you are watching this and you are an agency or marketing agency. Let's take, for example, you're doing everything manually right now, right? And so for me, I think I was like doing everything manually. I didn't have systems in place, and so um, your leads go, um, stays cold because there's no follow up, there's no systems in place. Your pipeline that you have, right? There's no depends on your motivation, right? So if you're a one person marketing agency, right? And I think in this day and age, it is so doable to create a marketing agency, a so one person marketing agency, right? Or at a minimum one person and one um, operations manager or some sort of manager assistant, right? So every lead, right, that um that calls or DMs or texts or emails, this one system has the ability to capture, follow up, nurture them, and then you can actually have AI qualify them to a certain extent as well. You can also do that through your website, or you can also do it through a survey or whatever, right? But it has the ability to ask um, those questions, whether it's via direct, DMs or via text messages. Um, and then the AI would book the appointments, right, directly on your calendar with to send reminders thereafter, right? And then after they sign, you onboard them, you deliver, then AI basically can ask for reviews and vice versa. Okay. All right. So next, maybe a consultant. I think very similar to the agency, consultants can comprise of coaches, especially if we're looking at the local businesses. We're talking about Um, let's see here. Um, I did not have the chat connected, so I'm gonna have to check the chat later to see if there's any. Let me see here. Excuse my, I got sidetracked. So with regard to the consultants, we're talking about, uh, especially in the local services, right? There's coaches, right? But typically, is more like an online coach. When I say online, meaning that coaches are typically um, can be, a coach can be coaching somebody that is not in the near vicinity, but somewhere far away. But we're talking about maybe services such as financial advisor. We're talking about, let's see here, fitness coach can actually be applicable in the local services area as well. And so the same thing can apply in that area as well. Where just like in the local business and agency example, all of this can be done automatically. All right. All right. So lastly, let me see here. Uh, Now, if you want to, here, let me just, if you want to get the framework, templates, and the training to install the system on your own, I do have a free, it's a community that recently set up. You can see it here. I will also put the link in the description. And if you want my team to build it out for you, then um, there is a link to schedule a free strategy session, right? And also, you can also email me and I can give you some, uh, you know, you could reach out to me directly as well. Okay. Let me see. That was pretty much it. And so I did not have any specific questions that I've prepared for this live, just because it was Thanksgiving. And basically, most of my time it was spent on preparing for this. Let me just get rid of the stream here. All right. So as I said, in my community, I do have, actually, I do have 30-day sprints, which I actually run every single month. That is available to you as well, um, to get accountability, to get you things done. I mean, we actually have a couple of people that are actually in this past month sprint that are actually making a lot of, they're actually following through and really making some movements in their business. So I encourage you to, if you want the framework templates and the training, it's in the Freedom Voyage Community. And let me see if there's any. All right. So on that note, I am um, going to. So like I said, if there's any questions whatsoever, please write your comments, um, send them in. I take some of the questions that are in the community, and I also talk about answering some of the questions. In the future, I hope to be able to invite people to join the live to ask questions directly. I don't know how to set that up at this point, but like I said, I'm trying this new platform, OneStream. Hopefully, because the video will be better, because I want to take some of the videos and be able to repurpose that to create short form videos and possibly even long form videos as well, right? And then with regard to the chat feature, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to probably my staff, my manager and my staff are off today, so I can't ask them to send messages. And I wish there was a better way to know whether if what do you call it? To see if anybody is currently active. But any case, oh, actually, I see that there's a way to invite up to 12 people. Wow. Okay. So yeah, there is a way. I see that there's a link. All right. So anyway, Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and I will see you next Friday. And just letting you know that um, I was contemplating moving my live to another time, but I'm going to keep it on Fridays at 11 Eastern. All right. So until next Friday at 11, I will see you then. Okay. Bye.